Hi, this is the 13th Wolfman, and this is a review. This is a review, not a midnight movie review where I pull out one of my movies from my collection and watch it and then tell you what I think of it. This is a full-on review of a movie that is right now in the theater. I rarely do these, but I went out yesterday and I caught the early morning matinee of the remake of Straw Dogs. I gotta say, I was pleasantly pleased with this movie. It in its defense, I have to admit, it's been a long time since I've seen the original Straw Dogs with Sam Peckinpah and Dustin Hoffman. Well, with Dustin Hoffman, directed by Sam Peckinpah. But so it's kind of weird how there are a lot of other movies in my life that I can remember as clear as day. Someone mentions a movie like The Howling, and I can picture, the piece of my mind scene as clear as day. And Straw Dogs, I know I've seen it. I know I've seen it more than once. But it was just a fog to me. So I was like, well, okay, going to see the remake is kind of like a complete blank slate. I can't... It's nice because I don't have to worry about comparing it to the previous. But now I'm going to get the previous on DVD and watch it and see what I think of that. So that'll be a whole other thing down the road. So I must say that James Marsden as David, and Kate Bosworth as Amy. It's good casting. My only complaint about Kate Bosworth is she's way too skinny. Ick. I mean, it's just a little too much. Alexander Skarsgård as the antagonist. Charlie. This guy stands 6'3", and he looks like he could antagonize anybody. He was a big guy. And then you got James Woods in a small role. There's only like a handful of people that you even know. Well, I know. I didn't recognize a lot of the people, which I was happy with because it's kind of like watching an independent film, It was well done, well directed. Rod Lurie directed and wrote it. He did a really good job. I'm trying to think what else he did, but I'm blanking on it right now. But as I said, it was a good movie. I mean, they had the intensity jacked up the whole time. I don't get scared, but you could just the intensity, the anticipation. You're just wondering what's going to happen next, and they even startled me at one point because I just didn't see it coming. So, all in all, it was a good film. I would definitely recommend this film to all you horror fans out there. If you really, I know it's a remake. We don't need more. And Straw Dogs really doesn't need a remake. That's the God's honest truth. It doesn't. There's a lot of horror films that don't need remakes, but it seems like this remake, Rod Lurie basically. He didn't just go out to make it as a remake in name and then mess with everything. He took the subject matter and he gently persuaded it to do with it what he wanted, and he did a good job. I want to see more horror films or more thriller type films with this guy writing and directing. I was honestly impressed. I mean, and I really love it when a director can also write. Wes Craven, John Carpenter, George Romero, all the greats have been able to write and direct. I mean, there are good directors that can direct someone else writing, whatever someone else is writing, but the really great ones, at least in horror, can also write. So I'll say this right now. If I was going to give this a grade from like A to F, I'd give it a B minus A, B plus A minus. You know, it's like right there. Like I said, the only thing that bugged me is that Kate Bosworth is just way too skinny. You know, so points off for that. So that's it. That's my review. This is the 13th Wolfman. I'm on the prowl.